Hello! So I'm making this video to talk about my Nexplanon experience and why I got it removed. Funny thing is, let's start with the story of how I got it in. So basically, I went to Planned Parenthood, and the day I got the Nexplanon, I actually was planning to get the IUD in, the hormonal IUD Mirena. And I heard a bunch of horror stories. It's gonna hurt, uncomfortable. I was just going through a lot that day, just a lot of things going through my mind. So basically, I was just a hormonal, crying, teary person that day. And the doctor, he basically scared me out of it. When I look back at it, I'm kind of like, what was his true motive? And I don't mean to be paranoid about it when I say that. But he was basically saying it's gonna take like an hour to put in. We have to dilate. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be uncomfortable. He really scared me out of it. And when I talked to the other people at Planned Parenthood, they're basically like, "Why did he say that?" He was really scaring me out of it. So instead, he suggested that I get the Nexplanon, the Implanon. Which is basically the implant that you put in your arm. It lasts for 3 years, and it's basically like a clear kind of rice-looking thing. I wouldn't say exactly like a rice. It looks exactly like a grain of rice because it's longer and it's cylindrical, but that's kind of what it looks like. So they inserted into your arm. At Planned Parenthood, they inserted local anesthetic, so it helped numb the pain. It was a little bit uncomfortable, kind of hurt, but as soon as you know it, it's over. They wrap up your arm, you go home. Some of the symptoms that I experienced throughout the 5 to 6 months that I had the Nexplanon in, it varied through different side effects, such as acne. I've always grown up with pretty clear skin. My skin's never been a problem. And it wasn't until I got the Implanon in that I was really breaking out. I did not like it. I had discoloration, pimples, especially on my hairline. I still kind of have a little bit on my hairline, which is going away. The first month, I was really more irritable. I would wonder, like, why do I feel so upset all the time? Why do I feel so depressed? Why do I feel so irritable? And it was because I was like, right, the Implanon, just my mood was really bad the first month, but after that, I don't think it was really bad. I don't think the Implanon was affecting my mood. Backache. My back, my muscles were just always sore. I totally forgot I had this symptom, but I realized it didn't really go away until I got it removed. I was like, I don't have any backaches anymore. Right, Implanon. I would always get sore muscles, sore aches. I thought it was maybe from work, but I don't get that anymore. It was when I had the Implanon. Backaches and aches. And this was probably one of the worst side effects that I had, and that was my period. Throughout that entire 5 to 6 months that I had it put in, I had my period the entire time, and that was awful. That was awful. 20 weeks of non-stop period, and the only kind of break that I had from that, non-stop period. I hated that. The birth control that I had before Implanon was the Depot, which is basically the 3-month shot, and I had no period, which was awesome. But the period is probably one of the biggest reasons why I decided to stop. I was tired of it. Another reason, which I did not like at all, I'm sure any woman would not like, weight gain. I was 122 pounds before I got it put in, and then I weighed 131, and I've been trying to lose that weight. One of the reasons why I gained weight was because of appetite increase. I was a lot more hungry, and it's funny because of Planned Parenthood, they're like, oh no, it doesn't make you gain weight, but it made me increase my appetite, so yes, it did make me gain weight. But I was a lot more frequently hungry. Here's something that, maybe a little TMI, but I think it's important for women who are watching this, who want the Implanon, for them to know. During intercourse, I would have the most excruciating cramps, abdominal pain. I would have to stop, and I would be in the fetal position for 10 minutes, just saying, ow, ow, it hurts so much. It was just awful. I would have to stop, and I would just cry. Maybe it was because the Implanon made me have constant periods, that my cervix was really sensitive, or maybe it was just the Implanon itself, but I don't have that pain anymore. I don't know how graphic and detailed I should get into this, but let me just say to warn women, if you're going to, no duh, you're gonna have sex on Implanon, but when you do it, just be aware of how intense it is. It may hurt. Anyway, so I had acne, my moods were off, weight gain, no bueno. My period, my menstrual cycle was non-stop. The pros of Implanon: okay, it works. It does not get you pregnant. It's low maintenance. You don't have to do anything, But with the side effects, is it really worth it? Not for me. A lot of women, most women, they get the Implanon removed because of their period. I got it removed because of my period and a plethora of other awful symptoms. So 5-6 months later, I got it removed, and I've been looking for other birth control methods, although they all seem to kind of suck. So I basically had to choose the birth control that least sucks, the effects that I'd like to live with the most. I'm thinking again about the IUD with the copper one, although due to the Implanon, I do not want to have periods, heavy periods and cramps, because I'm so done with that. Although I may go back to going to depot for a while, because I do not like having my periods. But that's just for me. If you have any questions, just comment down below, ask away. This is to help anyone considering Implanon, which I do not recommend. And if you get it, let me know how it works. I know that the day that I got my Implanon removed, a woman was in the waiting area talking to her friend, and she was getting it in that day, and later that day she did, and I told her in the office my experience, how terrible it was. I'm like, please don't get it, it's really bad. But I don't know, hopefully she won't have the same reaction that I did. But that's it, and ask your questions away, and I'm here to help.